and then go, I can do that, but I would rather have, and then you just... Hello, welcome back. Another episode, BigRedFishDad. This is, oh, by the way, happy Mother's Day to all you. I know you won't see this, but belated Mother's Day by the time this video gets up and everything. That's what I'm doing. I think if you saw in the turtle trap, I'm fixing to go to my mom's. I'm trying to get up there and fix some stuff. So the other thing she wanted was, she saw this on some magazine that came in the mail. It's a garden magazine. It's basically a garden cupboard. It's just a couple little shelves, a little box about 18 inches by 20, I don't know, whatever size you want. She told me what she wants to put in it. One of those shovels, some of those snipping shears for picking the okra, a knife, and then she wants to be able to hang a couple buckets on the bottom. So I'm going to make that. Looked at a couple designs and finally decided, you know, most of them are fancy. They have the gable and all that with some tin and some striping, and some, what's the word? The flashing, with some tin and the flashing on the top and the gable. So I went ahead and got in SketchUp and kind of drew up a simple design, just something. She wants to be able to hang it on the fence post when out at the garden, and just put that stuff in there. That way, when she goes out there, just maybe when for her coffee, kind of like me, I'll take my coffee and, you know, walk down to the garden and like, oh wow, there's a squash needs picked. She'll have something to cut it with real quick and put it in a bucket hanging there. I'm just going to go ahead and cut all the boards right now and start putting that together so I can have it ready to take up there with all the other stuff for Mom. It'll be a belated Mother's Day, but she'll get lots of things back this week. So. And of course, since these are pickets, you're going to want to measure from this direction where the dog ears are down here on the excess. That way you don't end up with dog ear on one end. That should be all the pieces. Now it's just pocket hole time. Put these off to the side. I should have 6 of them. So that's my 22s, which will be the top. And then these are the sides of the shelf. And then should leave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, get you one of these. Makes it a whole lot easier. Just clamp, unclamp, drill. There's the front door right there. Just let that dry. Okay, so for this 2 sides piece, you need that angle just for the roof to have a little bit of drainage on it. So I just clamped it down, drew my angle, and then I took it out to the saw and cut them together. That way they're the same. Okay, so with pickets, it wasn't a very good idea to use those. If you think about it a little bit better, it will, but this is the first one, so they're not exactly the right width. So many different variances and stuff. I mean, these two, this is probably the same picket here, way off. But since I pre-cut everything, I just put them all together as best I could, and ended up with a big mess. So the way I'm going to fix it is I'm going to change my design so that my sides go on the outside, and I'll just tap into these. So it doesn't look too bad, you know. Yeah, I've got these 2 screws that went through because they were thinner than the Craig jig, right? So now that the glue's dried, I'll probably pull these out. That way, they, you know, it looks nice on the outside. So that still looks good for the garden. So this is the crappy side, but it'll be on the inside with the door shut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off 3/8 inch on each side, and that should be enough to bring it in. I'll put the boards on the side here, but then my front door will still close properly. You know, the idea was to put them on top here, put each side on the top, and then the door closed because it's the same size as this. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit on each side here on the other side of the screws, put the sides on the outside now, and then the front door should shut. I'm using screws on the sides since it's going to support the shelves, and now it's going to support most of the board. Okay, so finally done. I just notched these out right here for the chains to make it easier to close. So there it is. Anyway, lots of things to change. You know, this one didn't quite turn out as planned, which, you know, that's part of the game, right? Learn as you go. Biggest piece of advice, do not use pickets. I probably should have known that. All I've ever made from fence pickets is, you know, Halloween crafts and junk. Nothing that, this is the first thing I've ever really butted up against like that, trying to get, you know, something somewhat of spliced together. Most of the time it's just, you know, like the skeleton or the, you know, candy shape or pumpkin shape or just general shapes that don't really matter. I just put a board here and put them down. I don't try to pocket hole them or anything like that for those kind of crafts. So yeah, this one definitely need to buy some real wood. Don't try to use the pickets. You know, it probably would work. I mean, if you had a planer or something, you know, and you really wanted to use the cedar pickets, then you could. But pallets probably would work, because most of the time those seem to be pretty consistent pieces of board. So, you know, whatever you got. I mean, this still, you know, the chain and everything, maybe $10, $15, I don't know. Didn't even price it out. So definitely is something that you can do. Don't really like all the pocket holes, but again, that's on the inside. So I'll put her a little knob on here and a magnet holder, I guess. So anyway, you know, just a general idea. Take it for what you will.
I do have the plans drawn up. I'll put a link to that with my dimensions for this size. So, you know, it might be a little big, but, you know, by the time you stack a couple of things in there and, you know, I don't know, a pair of scissors for your garden and a pair of gloves and maybe some wire and, you know, who knows. Like I said, you know, maybe a jar with a little bit of fertilizer or bug spray, or maybe you could even, you know, lay your 7 down, or maybe make just a half a shelf, put a brace right here, cut this half off, and then you could put your 7 dust powder and some of that kind of stuff in there as well, and that way it's always out at the garden. So anyway, just, you know, that's how we do it. You know, you see an idea, you look at somebody's video, look at somebody's plans, and then go, I can do that, but I would rather have, and then you just go with it. So like I said, did turn out. So let me get the last little bit on there, and you know, I'm just gonna end it by putting on the magnet and the handle right here, and then I'll take this up to my mom with all the other stuff. I think we got her windmill, her tin man, her turtle trap, this thing. I think there's one more thing I'm supposed to make before I go up, but I don't remember what it is yet. I'll have to go look at my list. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You know, I'd love to hear in the bottom if anybody's made one like this before. You know, just leave some comments down there. Start a discussion on what could have been done better. You know, this one needs some work, but I appreciate it, and I'll make another one. Hopefully it'll be nicer, and next time it'll go smoother. So again, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day. There we go.